Jesus said, if anyone would come after me, if anyone would follow me, let him first deny himself, take up his cross, and follow me. If you want to follow Jesus, there's 3 things you need to get straight before you even start. And even if you have chosen to follow Jesus, you need to remind yourself of these 3 things so that you'll continually follow him. The first thing it says, if anyone would come after me, let him first deny himself. The first step in following God is putting self to death. You see, our self is the greatest tool that Satan can use to distract us and to distance ourselves from God, because the Bible says that we are to live sacrificially instead of selfishly. The Bible says the Son of Man came to serve, not to be served, and to give his life as a ransom for many. Jesus lived his life as a fragrant offering, as a sacrifice to God. He had to put self out of the way and seek God's will above his own will. The best way to put self out of the way, to die to self and to deny self, is to live for God's will. The second thing it says, let him deny himself. Number 2, let him take up his cross. What this means is let him carry the burden of the cross. Let him carry the burdens of life with him, but also enduring that burden, but also this is the most important part, be willing to die for your faith. If you want to follow Jesus, Jesus said, take up your cross. When Jesus said that in that context, in that time, it literally meant you have to be willing to go to the cross if you're going to follow Jesus. You have to be willing to be crucified like him. The Bible says in Revelation that they overcame Satan by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony, and they loved not their own lives unto death. We as Christians need to follow God, not loving our own lives, being willing to die if that's what it takes, being willing to give everything for God. So first, deny ourselves, put God's will first. Second, take up our cross, carry our burdens with Christ's power, and also be willing to die for your faith. And then it says, let him deny himself, take up his cross, and follow me. The third step in following Jesus is following him. It's pretty simple. We have to follow him. The only way we can follow God is to look at God. You can't follow someone you're not watching. Have you ever played Simon Says? You have to follow what Simon says. You have to be attentive to what he says and follow his pattern, follow the leader. Games like that, we know that in order to follow someone, you have to watch someone. The question is, are you watching Jesus? Are you watching him? Are you in his word? If you're not in his word, you're not going to be able to watch him. You're not going to be able to understand what he's leading you. The Bible says that he's your shepherd and he leads you. The number one way God leads you is through his word. So deny yourself, take up your cross, and follow him. God bless.